Let's go. Come on, you already know this one.
One thing that you did point out, which, you know, really shook all of us, the Live City Church community, all of the New Ye community and supporters, was to hear about your father-in-law passing away, which we all send our condolences to you, Angel, your mother-in-law, Esther, Josh, all of you. You are all so dear to us, and you're all so important in the church. But outside of that, anyone that's met all of you know how much of a family unit you have. So imagine having such a huge part of your family pass away. Must have really, really shook the start of 2021. And I know he played a big role in some of your songwriting. You've explained to me personally what that meant to you, but I'd love for you to share with us how he played that role and how that made you feel in terms of creating music.
So I would have to go all the way back to the fact that first of all, when I first met this man, he spoke into my life. I remember we was at school, me and Pastor Angel, we went to the same secondary school, and we had me and my boy, one of my best friends, Marcus McNeish, who also is MD at Live City Church. We was doing like a little song for our assembly. I think it was one of our leaving assemblies, or one, I can't even remember. But we done a song, and like the parents were there, students were there. It was a great, I can't even remember the song, but it brought emotions because the whole place, everyone was crying. And literally at the end of that assembly, about to go home, I get pulled by this man, I get hugged, and I'm like, "Hi, sir, are you okay?" And he literally just pulled me aside and he said, "Listen," he said, "you're called for more than what you believe, and you need to not play about with the calling of God on your life." And he just you gotta understand, I don't know who this man is. So I'm thinking, yo, someone needs to save me right now, because I don't know who he is.
Someone said that,
then, you know what I'm saying? But then when he started speaking to me, it was coming from a place of passion and love. So it was then I felt calm, I could trust this guy, not knowing who he is.
Wow.
But I can trust him. And then he was just encouraging me and saying, "Yeah, you're gonna be a great man of God, and you're gonna do some amazing things." And I was just like, wow. And then Angel comes, and Angel goes, "Oh, Dad, this is my friend Volney." And I was like, "That's your dad?" I'm like, "That's your dad?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, this is he's the one who wants to start up a choir and stuff like that." And basically I found out later on in life that he when he first came over, he was a choir conductor, he was a choir director. So he before he became a pastor and a reverend, he was a choir director. So something must have clashed within him, and just felt So that happened, and then moving on forward, obviously, I gained feelings for his daughter, and then I never forget. I was like, I gotta ask this man for his daughter's hand in marriage. Yeah. So I'm thinking, obviously, I'm a church boy. He's already spoken in my life, so it's a win-win. That's it. She's mine. Went to him. I was like, cool, gonna ask for Angel's hand in marriage, gonna go to him and ask for Angel's hand in marriage. And lo and behold, I get there, I'm thinking, obviously, it's easy pickings, it's a win. Obviously, he loves me already. Go to him, and I was like, sir, I want to marry your daughter. And he was just like, what have you got to offer? And I was like, ooh. I was like, hold on, no. I'm the same guy that you spoke in his life. You said I was going to be a great man of God. You said I was going to do great exploits. And right then and there, he just shut down my airplane. And it was just like, yeah, what have you got to offer? And just I was like, I thought this was it. And he was just like, what's your plan? What do you want in your future? And I was just like, I want to marry your daughter, kind of thing. And he was just like, that's not good enough. You have to have
that's not a job.
vision. Listen, right? He said he was, and in fact, that's exactly what he said. That doesn't put food on the table. And I was like, wow. It was like a humbling experience. I was just like, whoa. So after speaking to him, and and just really getting to know him. Like I literally fell in love with him, and he fell in love with me. And like lo and behold, obviously we got married, gave him his first grandson, and I'll never forget when he came to me in the hospital, and he was just literally like, he was like, "Thank you so much," hugged me, embraced me like a son, and like we lived this life of like, I'm his son. Like he would always say this thing where him and my mother-in-law would always say this thing where they would say, "You're not our son-in-law, you're our son." And it just was passionate. It was just, it was so amazing. So then literally when it came to writing songs, we would always, me and my wife, would write Nigerian songs or a song that had a Nigerian influence in it. And I never forget, we wrote our first song together, which was Baba O'Shea O'Shea, that went on Premier Gospel, went viral, went crazy. Everyone was singing it. It was amazing. But he was the main influence behind it, because anything that we, whenever we needed certain Yoruba words or translations, we would go to him and he would give us the right translation. And so we'd write these songs, being like, and then obviously I felt like I was changing the game, because I was like, yeah, this Caribbean boy singing in different languages, you know, and I'm thinking, yeah, like getting excited. And he was literally the force behind that. So then like that song went great. It was good. And then we done this recent song again called I Will Not Fail, Alabawa, Alabawa, Alagbara, Alabawa. And literally, and we went to him for this song. This was like last year, and we asked him for the translation, as we usually do. He gave us the translation, and we told him what the song was that we was doing. And again, he plays a big influence in our songwriting. So we wrote the song, and then it was a thing where obviously we sing the song, people love it, and now it's on the crossover project. At the start of this year, 2021, he goes into hospital, and at this time, I need you guys to understand that at this time, as he's in hospital, I have to listen back to the mixing and the mastering of this project. So every time I come across the song, I Will Not Fail, I'm singing it and I'm crying because he's in hospital, and I'm singing it in hope that God, like, you'll heal him and you'll bring him out. And as we were singing this song, there was one time they went to the hospital, and I was in the car because obviously we wasn't allowed to go into the hospital and things like that. I was in the car, and the song was playing, and like tears was just coming down my face, and I was just like, God. And it was that moment where I don't want to say I let him go, but I let my will go for God's will. And I say, God, whatsoever your will is, let it be done. And I think a week later, he passed away. And it was hard. It was real hard. Even just to go back to that song, me and Pastor Angel was talking in another interview the other day, and we literally said, they was like, how do you find the song? And she was like, if I'm honest, I still can't listen to the song because it reminds me of the last thing that our dad worked with us on. And so it's a hard song for her to listen to, and it's not because she can't listen to the song. She loves the song. She just knows it's going to make her cry. Yeah. So, and just like me, we was in the front room, and when I got the final mix, she was sitting down, and I was on the sofa and listening to it. And then again, tears. Like you'd think I was a crybaby by now, but I'm just tears. And
genuine.
And she looked at me, and she was just like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, I just got the final mix for I Will Not Fail. And she was just like, oh. And I goes, do you want to listen to it? She goes, no. And I already knew that it wasn't because of what was on the track. It's never going to be the same again. Anytime we write a song, and our father's influence will no longer be in it as when it was before. Anything will remind us of it, but like we can't go back to him again for the lyrics. We can't go back to him again for the translation. So that was one of the hardest things for us. But in that, you can know that this song has something so much behind it. It has so much behind it because of this great man who dedicated his life to God and the church and his family. So know that when you listen to that song has so much behind it. So yeah.
Oh, that's powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I know how personal that is, but I do feel like it's important that people know that you are still being able to share, encourage others, even when
Mm.
you're going through your own personal experiences. And it just shows how dedicated you are to being able to support others and love each other and honor
Yeah,
your father-in-law as well in that.
yeah,
That is such a great memory and physical piece of
yeah.
him. So yeah, congratulations for persevering. And again,
Thank you.
it has been just a whole. I mean, we're literally a year into being in lockdown. Um, it's been a lot of perseverance, and it's
Yeah,
overcoming challenges, getting familiar with change, and
yeah,
obviously working during COVID restrictions.
yeah.
There's a lot of members in New Year. So, how has it been bringing out music as a group in a pandemic?
It's, you know what? If I'm actually honest, these guys are so amazing because I remember we had a couple of days of recording, and I was like, guys, I know it's hard right now, but I need everyone, if we could make this date, to come into the studio to social distancing it in mind, and we're going to record this. We're going to record these songs, and the way my mind was working was, it wasn't necessarily recording these songs for the project. These were just recording songs just in case they don't let us out again. So I was kind of like, listen, we don't know what's going to happen, so let's record these songs. And listen, we got like down somewhere, and these guys would come out and put their heart on it, and literally they'll get sent home. And we just encourage each other throughout. Even now, we have this thing called encouraging Mondays, where we every Monday we just, in our WhatsApp group, we just encourage each other, and we just stay that family unit. So yeah, it's been difficult because we're very much a bubbly set of people, and we love each other. We always got jokes, full of comedians. So it's like not being able to be around your family like that. It's hard, and we're always traveling. So it's like, in fact, last year, which was crazy, that's how you know this was God, because we planned a tour, and we had a Kingdom Over Everything tour that we was meant to do, and like obviously due to COVID, like everything got shut down, and then there was that window of opportunity where everything opened back up again. And then we went to Denmark, we done some teaching, we done a festival, and it was just like, yo, like, wow, everyone was like, how are you traveling? We're like, yo, it's the grace of God. Like right now, we're just gonna use this window.
Yeah.
And then we, yeah, and we came back, and at the same time, it was mine and Angel's anniversary as well. So we went out and we just had a little nice time, came back, and then no word of a lie, the day after, they said every border's been shut.
Wow.
Every border. And I literally said to the team, I said, guys, if we ever knew that God had our backs,
Yeah.
it's then. Because literally that was it. All the borders were shut. We wasn't Denmark, where we went, they closed their borders. They wasn't allowing people, I think, out or in, because they were saying another wave was coming. So a lot of things was shut down. So yeah, so that's New Year. We travel, we enjoy each other's company. So for us to be so distant from each other, it's been a challenge, but we've made it work. We've made it work.
Well done, well done. So this project, Crossover Live, the EP, I mean, I'm loving the vibes. I'm loving how encouraging it is. I'm trying to warm up my vocal cords, so when I do
Come on.
you guys live, I can sing along. What do you want this project to do for your listeners, your fans, your supporters, for booking agents who want to book you for the year ahead? What do you want people to get from this project?
I really want this project to bring healing. I think that's my main assignment for this project. Is, yes, I want it to go global. Who wouldn't? But in it going global, I want it to bring healing. I want it to, from track number one, is He has kept me. It's the reminder that God is keeping you, and no matter how hard it gets, as long as you're able to breathe in and breathe out, it's showing you that God is still giving you breath to continue, that you are not finished, that you still have an assignment to bless your name. And if you listen to the lyrics, if you listen to the lyrics, you're so hilarious. If you listen to the lyrics, you will hear that there's just little nuggets for you to carry. There's in Bless Your Name, the lyric says, and if I die, I only gain this one thing, that the savior of this world calls me his own. And that's coming from a biblical reference of when the Bible speaks of if to live is Christ and to die is gain, meaning that, listen, if I do everything that I've done in this and God takes me home, that's it, I've done it. But at the end of the day, or if God doesn't take me home, rather, then I'm still doing what I'm meant to be doing in this earth. But if I'm doing what I'm doing, and just like my father-in-law, God takes me home, it's only gain. Like, I'm only going to the one that created me. We got to remember that there's a paradise that we're going to. There's a new place that we're going to that's got no sickness, no pain, no stress, no haters, none of that. It's just a place where we come together, we love each other, and we reign with Christ. We worship him because he's kept us, he's saved us, he's brought us back home. But while we're here in this earth, we have an assignment to do, and that's to spread the good news of Jesus Christ, that he loves you, that if there's anything that you need to get and understand is that this man came, died for you, that yes, you'll live through this life, but you'll be a help to someone else. So I think this project really is just to encourage people, just to bless them, and just, have a soundtrack for this season that will get you through. Again, I will not fail. It's just a declaration, just to let people know that, look, you will not fail, and just continue to speak it and allow it to manifest in your life. Speak it over your children, speak it over your family. Tell them you will not fail, especially for children or kids that's in the education system right now. It's crazy. Like, you're not going to school one minute you're going to school. And I made a joke, right, that I think I might have to take back now. But I said, listen, these kids can pray, like, because back when I was in school, I was in this prayer where I was like, God, make something happen where we don't have to go to school tomorrow. And I would continue to tell people, I was like, listen, this is a praying generation, because they must have prayed, and look, they wasn't going to school for a whole year. Like, it was like, man. But I think I'll take it back now, because everything that's been happening is just like, no, they need to be back at school. I got my son, I'm like, he needs to go back to nursery, y'all. So So yes, so within all of this, it's you will not fail. So you college students, you uni students, you students of life, you will not fail. And then obviously the last two tracks, after all I've been through, it literally speaks of the season that we're in. After everything that I've been through, I've still got room to give God praise. Although I've been stressed out, although I've been tired, although I don't even feel like doing it anymore, I still got room to give God praise. That's one thing that has to be eternal, is that I'll praise him in this life and I'll praise him in the next. And then the last track is Everlasting God. And it just speaks of what it really is. He's an everlasting God. He doesn't go tired. He doesn't go weary. So where we have put our trust in people, and people have literally been in a place where they have let us down, where they have done us some things that, we wish they wouldn't have, like this God that we serve, he constantly has our back. He constantly sees us through. He constantly looks over us, looks after us. And he'll not fail. He won't go weary. He won't go tired. He's all room to keep us. So yeah, so that's the crossover project.
Amazing. Absolutely love that. And we are going to rinse it until it's in the charts and it's worldwide, it's international, and all those good things they are. But that's me in fan mode. I'm back in presenter mode. So, I mean, it's amazing that you've been able to continue a church during lockdown and produce a whole EP. But as things start to ease and things start to change, is there one that takes over more than the other? I mean, now that you're a pastor, what does it look like for Volney Morgan and New Year now and in the future? Do you plan to continue to make music, or do you plan to be the world's finest multicultural church the world has seen?
I think it's all in the stride of what God has created me to be. And I think one doesn't cancel out the other. And what I mean by one doesn't cancel out the other, just like what we spoke about at the start of this interview, is that it's what's in you has to come out of you. I feel like that music has always been inside of me. So music's always going to come out of me. I've not just discovered this past the mantle of my life. It's been there, as I said, from the age of 16, where I technically was pastoring a group of people and not knowing it. So it was, even then, that was in me, it was coming out of me. I really believe that it's just knowing balance and knowing times and seasons of when God will allow me to do one thing and give me the grace to do the other, and not trying to move in my own kind of desires of, oh, I want to just do music now, so I'm just doing music, leave the pastor thing on. No, it's me following the direction of God and the Holy Spirit, and where he will have me in each season, that's what I will do. So again, like, pastoring is the thing that he's called me to, and I love it, and it's a blessing and it's an honor to pastor amazing people like yourself, that's creative, that's doing amazing things in the earth. So that's awesome. And when it comes to music, again, it's just another side of me that God has allowed. So it's nothing that stops. It's something that, yes, it does continue. It just has its time and it has its place. It has its season. So I know when to do it, and I know where to do it. So yeah, it's a balance. So they both will continue. The pastoring will continue, and New Year will continue. Probably when I can't move anymore, I give it over to my son VMJ, and he still carries on the name of Volney Morgan. So and there'll probably be like a junior New Year team, but yeah, it's about leaving legacy, really, and just passing something on to the next generation that they can do even better. And I feel like if there's any way I stop doing a thing, it's when I feel like God has said, you know what, that season is finished. It doesn't mean that other things are finished, but it just means that this thing is finished. Has he told me it's finished? No. So we continue and we keep it going, we keep it moving, and on to the next one.